Hello gamers, welcome to another DSP video. I am taking a break from playing the brand new Guilty Gear character, Elfelt. She's in Strive, she got in. So far the Elfelt report, is that she's fun to play. I kind of dug her gameplay in this game. It's still kind of fun. I love her moves, I love her supers, I love everything about it. I love her design, I love just that she's like a punk rocker. I love that her super involves screaming. After she does her super, she yells "die." Great character. 10 out of 10. Fighting against Elfelt, I've only fought one level 63 Elfelt player, and everyone's gonna be wanting to know: is she gonna be as much of an annoyance as Happy Chaos is to me? Well, no, because honestly, the only thing that I think is scary about Elfelt fighting against them is the high-low mix-up that she has with her, I think it's like Lollipop something. I can't remember the name of the move, but it's like Lollipop something, and she could string like high-low mix-ups, and it could be like a very long loop, so you have to like know it very well to react to it. So that's the only scary thing about her. The projectiles that she has are nowhere near as obnoxiously annoying as Happy Chaos is to me. Like, Happy Chaos's guns will just track you down and just shoot you, whatever. He can also buff the concentration, which makes it easier to aim, that kind of stuff. Meanwhile, with Elfelt, her projectiles, I would compare them to Bedman's projectiles in Strive, where it's like, the speed is like kind of the same. It does have a follow-up angle as well, so like, once you learn the timing of that, you can get around it. There's like a fast and slow version of it, and they're pretty easy to see. Like, the faster one is purple, the slower one is blue. So it's easy to handle. So far right now, currently, as I'm recording this video, Elfhelt's fine to fight. I don't have a massive disadvantage. It's not to the point where I'm going to be avoiding Elfhelt players. It's not at that point yet. It could change. It could change. You know, the character just came out. But once we get to that point, I'll let you guys know. But right now, the Elfhelt report is fun character. She's not to the point where I'm going to be avoiding them online just yet. I will be facing them until I can't take it anymore. That happened with Happy Chaos. I dealt with him, then I was like, fuck him, I'm gonna avoid him. Fuck Happy Chaos, fuck Axel. Those are the characters I just avoid just off the bat on principle. I will fight like Zato, Anji, Chip sometimes. Chip, it's like, it's not a bad matchup, but I just there's things that I can't stand it. I just can't stand it, like the fucking teleports. Some of them it's like come on, but whatever. Chip I can kind of tolerate more than Happy Chaos. Happy Chaos I can like say goodbye to. They did nerf him though. I think they nerfed him even more, which is fine. You know, he needs more nerfs if you ask me. Nerf him more. I think if anything, Jacko needs more buffs. Okay, just saying. Anyways, that's just a Jacko bias. Maybe she doesn't need buffs, but whatever. I ain't that diehard into the fucking tier list meta bullshit. But that's the Elfhelt report. So there you go. Happy gearing, Guilty Gear nuts.
Okay,
We're gonna
so
be watching the
getting back on
Gate
topic now.
segment. Yes.
This morning, the Game of the Year award nominees were announced, or I should say, the game.
Now I'm gonna be super fair for Phil, the guy, because everyone went to the other clip where he's like, no one's gonna talk about Baldur's Gate 3 after Starfield hits and all that shit, right? And I was debating including that video. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But I want to use this video because this is more recent, and it's gonna be more fun to compare something he says recently versus what he said months ago, because to a degree I get where DSP is coming from. Like, he didn't know Starfield was gonna be a dud. I get that. Okay, you know, we've all been there in my opinion. But the reason why people bring it up a lot is just how obnoxious he was kind of dismissing Baldur's Gate 3 and not listening to anyone and just being proven wrong. And I will mention, it's gonna be a running theme that this dude is like, well, I said months ago, like, I haven't even mentioned all that stuff, right? this dude has been holding the trolls, like, dangling over their heads, our heads, guys, us, the trolls, about the escort. Yes, people were wrong about the escort, and he keeps bringing it up. So how come, right? We're years apart from the escort nonsense, and we're still told in current year, why those are the trolls, man? They bring up the escort. Remember the escort? They were wrong. So when it happens to him about Baldur's Gate 3, dude, he said it months ago. So, I did say it's fair. Like, sure, it's fair that, no one knew Starfield was going to be a dud or whatever, but it goes around back to it being bullshit because this dude does not extend the courtesy to us when we're wrong about something. Like, if he wants everyone to say, like, yeah, I feel it could be wrong sometimes or whatever, then maybe don't be such an asshole when we're wrong about something. We're all people, Phil. And yeah, we were wrong about the escort. Well, some people were. Whatever. People were wrong about the escort. We're years apart. Years apart. And we're still told to this day, well, guys, the trolls brought up the escort and that was wrong. Like, okay, but that's years ago. Okay. So let's get back to this.
Nominees were announced. This covered various topics. Of course, you always have your Game of the Year contenders, Game of the Year nominees. But in addition, you have all of your minor categories as well. And before we actually get to the games that are nominated, I would just like to read through the various categories so you guys know what they actually do at the Game Awards. So, here you go. I'm actually going to start from the bottom.
Yes.
And I'm going to read all the way up. These are all the categories, all right,
that they do
at the Game Awards, all right?
All right.
So, from the bottom up, ready? Best Esports Event, Best Esports Coach, Best Esports Team.
Oh my God. We don't need to.
Best Multiplayer.
Listen to this.
I hate to say it, all right? Have 2 fatal flaws.
Wait, what?
I guess. Or do they? Because here's the deal, all right? The Game Awards, I hate to say it, all right?
I hate to say it, guys.
Have 2 fatal flaws every single year. And as much as I feel that Jeff Keighley is very well-intentioned with his show, and he's really trying to make games professional. I mean, look what he's done in the last several years with Summer Game Fest as E3 was on the decline.
Oh my God, I kind of want to do a video about the fucking Game Awards because both, like, there's something I need to say about it because it kind of dawned on me. I was doing a Twitter thread of a live reaction of the event, and at some point I just muted it, just watched it, and because I just stopped caring. And man, like, I know it sounds like a meme that I said on Twitter, like, dude, when I saw Alpha, like, at least that kind of made me a little bit happier. Like, that sounds like a meme, and and all that, but it was literally a misery to just sit there and all of, like, the awards. I honestly forgot what won half the stuff. I'll be honest. Like, a lot of the awards were just like, okay, like, art direction, I remember because I care about art direction, and I really don't get why Alan Wake beat Zelda. Like, I think Tears of the Kingdom has way better art direction than Alan Wake 2, but whatever. So it's like, okay, I remember that. Score, like, Hi-Fi Rush lost that? It's like, how? How did Final Fantasy 16 win that? Final Fantasy 16, I enjoyed the game, but I don't think the soundtrack was that memorable. It's good, but it's, Hi-Fi Rush had a way better sound, whatever. And then after that, it's like, okay, I don't know. And they were, like, speeding through awards. They were not letting people talk and all that stuff, and it's like, okay. And then all the trailers they showed were just awful. It was just like they all started blending together, and a lot of people bring up, like, the Journey to the West game. I could not tell you what it was. I can't place it out. I can't remember it. It's like I watched it. It's like I can't tell you what trailer was Journey to the West. The trailers I remember is, like, Metaphor, Persona 3 Reload, and I thought that was an ad. I'll be honest, that felt like an ad to me, not a trailer, but whatever. And the Elful trailer. Everything else, it's like I can't remember. And World of the Goo too, because World of the Goo is World of the Goo. But it's like, man, I can't tell you. And it's like it was just so much. And then all the anime games, I like this was where I had it. It was just like at this point my brain just clocked out and left my body. These style of anime games, it's not even a heavy style. Like Metaphor is a very heavy anime, like other kind of style to it. It's more than just, oh, it's anime. Same with like Guilty Gear. There's all this stuff going on with those games that make them stand out, and then they show games that look like fucking Genshin Impact or whatever. It's like, why every fucking event that Jeff has been doing has this? And it's like, I was thinking today, like, we're in such a bad place where the major events where like you can see trailers and all this stuff is like an award show and Summer Game Fest, and all of the trailers you see feel like shovelware. Like E3 had a lot of junk. I've been watching a lot of old E3 stuff, but that felt way more curated than this, and it's like it blows my mind. And then you have the Nintendo Direct, and it's like that's the worst Nintendo Direct can do to you is like, okay, yeah, these are games that are there or whatever, but those are like go by in like a blink of an eye, and it's whatever. But they at least have something. Like, the last one I think I saw was when they showed Mario Wonder, Mario RPG, Thousand Year Door, all this stuff. It overall wasn't an amazing Direct, but it had games that I actually was like, oh, I might get this. Oh, Mario RPG, yeah, I'll play that. Oh, Thousand Year Door, yeah, I'll play that too. Like, it had games like, I at least were like, oh. The Game Awards were just like, I don't know. And it was also just weird to me how long it, like, this is, I guess, like, Guilty Gear bias, but I honestly thought the Elfel trailer was going to be way earlier, because a few years ago, last year, the year before, when they showed Persona 4 Arena Ultimax that was going to be ported to PS4, that was showed way early that year. And it's like, yeah, it makes sense. It's not a new game. It's a remaster. Okay, so why was Elfelt so late in the fucking award show? It's just a trailer for a DLC character, not like a new game. And it was something that we knew was coming, leaks or not. So it was just so mind-numbing that it was just, this is what the awards are. And then you have like the people who were giving speeches getting like walked off the stage and not allowed to finish. Like, it's just awful. Like, at this point, like, usually I'm very like, okay, Jeff just does this stuff because he needs, he's kind of wanting to make sure this show keeps going on, so he might need all these ads and all this stuff. But this was just like, at some point, you have to, like, this is the kind of shit DSP brags about, how he doesn't have to worry about sponsors and all this stuff. But I feel even the most shillest of shills would, like, kind of stand their ground and be like, okay, fuck it, if you can't, like, afford everything, we'll just cut back a little bit of something else. It is just insane to me what we went through, and it's like, and it was a genuine fear that he was gonna like lean into the Bill Clinton meme. And it's like, I'm glad that he didn't, at least, but it's still fucking, it was just such a bad show. Like, it made me like really depressed about it, like Retro Q Gaming, we do a podcast with, had a video that he uploaded to his channel, Retro Q Gaming, check it out. And he talks about like how he's got it done. He doesn't really feel any excitement about video games or something like that. After we watch it, it's a good video because it's like actually like, made me kind of think a little bit. So yeah, okay. Let's get back to this.
E3 with his own show that's just as good. I get that.
I don't think Summer Game Fest is as good as E3. I'm just gonna say it because it just isn't, for the reasons I said. I mark my words. The Summer Game Fest in 2024 will just have a lot of shovelware and maybe one game that's like really cool. If it doesn't get leaked, which it probably will. Man.
Trying to make this professional. All right, I totally get it, but the Game Awards have two critical flaws every year that I call out, but they're all just ignored as if it doesn't exist. All right, flaw number one. All right, the Game Awards have a cutoff for what games can be nominated. So I'll give you an example. All right, and I'm not saying that this seriously would be a contender or anything, but the Game Awards only consider games up to a certain point in November. So, for example, this week, Like a Dragon Gaiden came out. Guess what game is not eligible?
I
This
like
week,
Like a Dragon
Super
Gaiden, but I
Mario
wouldn't
RPG
say
Remake comes out. It's not eligible.
it should be
Guess what other
nominated.
game comes out
Whatever.
next month? The Avatar game from Ubisoft.
Ah, the
Not
Avatar
eligible.
game. The
Why?
Avatar game. It is so funny. He brings up the Avatar game. So funny.
Because the Game Awards are run the first week of December.
Why did he skip it?
But that's not the end of the year. How can you have a year show, the Game of the Year Awards, the Game Awards, it's supposed to be contenders for the year, but it doesn't include anything from the last month and a half to 2 months of the year. How does that make sense?
How does it make sense?
It doesn't.
Does it?
You might say, well, why do they do it that way? Because of advertisers. I'm not shitting you. They found during market research the best way to make money with this show is to run it the first week of December. If they ran it in January, most advertisers have already expended all of their advertising budgets for Christmas, and they don't have a lot of money to throw towards ads in January. So if they held the show in January and it was more legit for the awards, they would not make as much money. So because of money, they hold it in fucking December. Pretty stupidly greedy, isn't it? Yes.
Innately, just hearing that, it's like man, it kills me to say it because of what I just said before. But it's like, but it's a dark truth. Like, yeah, he needs money to make the show run because Jeff doesn't want to go on stage and be like, guys, I really need the money. Please tip me. Like. But that's just the business. You could criticize the balance of like sponsors versus like awards. I just think it. The other thing I was thinking about last night, it really just. You go watch the Oscars. Do you see the Oscars having like movie trailers as much as the Game Awards? Not really, or anything like that. So how come we don't have it where we have a Game Awards show that can afford to do that? Like it's that kind of shit that I'm thinking about, and it's like, we need someone to like make a big award show for games, and it not to be so dependent on sponsors. It costs money, and the Oscars are like ingrained in Hollywood, so they probably have a lot of easy way to get backed. But it's like there needs to be some way for gaming to kind of get that kind of stuff. But that's not for me to decide, man.
But I guess it's just business, right?
Business,
now you may say, well, that's okay, because any games that come out in like November, December will be eligible for next year. Yeah, except it's literally never happened. Go back during the history of the Game Awards and look at...
Okay, we're just gonna skip ahead a little bit.
Dude, it sold tons. It was one of the best-selling games of the year. It was the biggest thing. Guess what? Literally not being discussed at Game of the Year Awards at all. As if it never existed. Like the game never came out this year.
Wait, what
Why?
game?
Because it came out in February. These awards really only start considering games around late March, April, and they only carry through till around October.
Yeah,
and
I don't give a fuck.
I think that's incredibly stupid.
Like
I don't think that's fair.
That's the
I
last
think it's
headache I
unprofessional.
need. That's the last headache I need.
But if
I
you
don't
really
need
want to talk
fucking tune
unprofessional,
in and hear about fucking Harry Potter.
In truth,
dumb
the reason
shit.
that I really find the
fuck
core
that
flaw
property.
of this show is that
Everything about it.
I just named all the categories, right? And you might say, oh, well, that's interesting. So how do they determine the winners? Are you ready? 100. Okay. Gaming journalists and insiders.
I don't care. Let's like
Love it there too. Doesn't fit my format of content.
Oh, okay. Let's rewind a little bit.
2. Okay, I agree on that one. I just finished it, and it was one of the most innovative games I've played in many years. It will resonate with me forever because of the innovative things it did. I love the game.
I don't know. I'm
one of the best
kind
narratives
of
ever.
getting
Yes, it's
bored of
definitely
it.
Game of the Year
I'm
contender for me.
not. I'm not feeling
Okay.
it anymore, man. I was feeling
Baldur's
the sauce,
Gate
not anymore.
3.
Oh, here we
Certainly,
go.
I didn't play it, but I think it's undeniable. This game,
Undeniable.
considered one of the best PC RPGs of all time. Then it carried over to PS5. People seem to love it there too. Doesn't fit my format of content, but everyone who's played it seems to agree it's outstanding. Even though I've heard many people fairly criticize it and say,
Oh, well, let's talk about the criticism.
actually, the final third of the game is not very good at all.
Oh my god, guys, we know what's gonna happen. Because he announced he's gonna play Baldur's Gate 3. We know what the fuck's gonna happen now. He's gonna get to that third part of the game and think, it's so boring, man. Oh, they had me in the beginning and now it's like boring. It's like pulling teeth and all this stuff. It's gonna happen.
The first 2/3 are outstanding, and the final third, they kind of ran out of thoughts and ran out of ideas, and the game completely fizzles out at the end.
And then he just fucking this, and he's like, dude, I'm just being fair, man. I gave it his props, man. It's undeniable, all this stuff. But but he was very quick. Like, he brings up Alan Wake 2, does not bring up a single criticism. Baldur's Gate 3, well, like, people said the third act is pretty boring. Like a fucking told you so moment. And it's like, dude, you were being fair, giving it its
How it's perfect and game of the year, I don't know, but that's what people are saying.
I don't know. It would be game of the year. The last third is pretty bad. But man, Alan Wake 2, good game. Love it. Right? Correct?
I actually even really liked the game. Okay?
Wait, what?
Thoughts and ran out of ideas, and the game completely fizzles out at the end. So how it's perfect and game of the year, I don't know, but that's what people...
How is it perfect game of the year? How is it perfect in game of the year, dude? How can it be game of the year? The last third sucks. But Alan Wake 2 is apparently a flawless game, no issues at all. Perfect game. I doubt you could go to the last part. I'm sure he said nothing but positive things, right? He was like, this game rules. Wow.
Saying who actually even really liked the game. Okay? Spider-Man 2. Well. After having played 25 hours of it and likely getting to the end of it today, I could say it's probably arguably the best superhero game ever made.
Best superhero game ever made.
It's got the best open world city and open world traversal I've ever seen in a video game.
Yeah? It's
got a story that keeps you guessing with twists and turns.
Yeah? Good story?
It's certainly not overly cliche. It takes a few risks with the plot that aren't in line with the comics or movies.
I fucking don't know what risks
overall,
it took, but okay.
Very pleasing game. Is it the perfect game? No. I mean, it does have some annoying parts. It still has stupid MJ missions where for some reason Mary Jane is a fucking superhero even though she's really not. They have to have these progressive segments of the game that make absolutely no sense and are out of place. But for the most part, the game is very pleasing and very satisfying if you're a fan of Spider-Man.
He said this, but today he was saying literally he wasn't expecting this game to win anything because it was a blah game. Now it's like it's a game that took risks.
Superheroes or anything.
But why did it have an MJ?
And a lot of people have even been saying Spider-Man 2 may even take up the mantle as best superhero game ever from Batman Arkham City.
Gross.
So there you go.
Gross. I've seen people compared to Arkham Knight.
Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Poetic.
Now, out of all the games that are listed,
okay, we're just gonna skip Resident Evil.
I don't think this one should be in there. This is the one I kind of disagree with. Just wonder,
we're skipping that too.
Against Nintendo and Mario. Oh, that's a kiddie game.
Yeah, kiddie game. Boo boo boo.
Platformers. So why shouldn't it be a game of the year contender?
I don't know. I said boo boo boo.
It's got high production quality. It's got length. It's got value.
Whatever.
It's got innovation. It's got everything you want from a great game. It's Nintendo. It's for little kids. No,
you're just stupid and ignorant.
The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, here we go.
I knew this one would be there. Do you want to know why?
Dude, I wish it won. Like, imagine we could have gotten like Neil Druckmann tier of crying about Zelda. We would have pre-streams, and maybe we would have an Anuma cult. We had the cult of Druckmann, the cult of Anuma. Oh, these people, these Zelda fans. Oh, the cult of Ganon. Oh, he may even say cult of Ganon. We could be the cult of Ganon. Think about it. And Ganondorf is fucking cool in Tears of the Kingdom. So, I mean, come on.
Gaming journalists. This game was like so heavily pushed by gaming journalists this year. I
don't know what he was talking about. I don't know if I called it out, but I don't know what gaming journals he was looking at. I didn't see anyone like talk about Zelda this much to the amount that he's telling us about Zelda. I've never seen artists like Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is like the greatest game ever made, and no game will top it. I've never seen shit like that. What game journals was he reading?
I knew it was going to be a game of the year contender.
Maybe the boomer people.
But it's hilarious.
Because I think my mom brought up like an article that she reads mentioned Zelda, and she's like, "Oh, they said it was a really good game." It's like, yeah. So maybe it's like one of those news areas. You know,
a lot of people strongly criticized the game and said it's exactly the same map as Breath of the Wild. Yes, there's an underworld and an aerial world, but it's
okay.
but I wasn't in love with it.
Whatever. We know the point. We know this. We don't need to go through the whole rant. Let's just go to the main show, the main thing, the main meal. I'm getting antsy. I want my main course now.
Snort, 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 Kogan, drip, snort.
But we got what we needed anyway, because you talk about Baldur's Gate 3.
Alrighty, so today is Friday, the 8th of December, 2023. I'm Darkside Phil. I welcome you here to the Level 1 podcast, and today, of course, will be a hefty show. Because today is the Game Awards Decompression Show. Now, as you know, I've told you guys this every single year. The Game Awards are not official. The Game Awards do not represent anything official whatsoever. Just because a game won or lost or ranked but didn't win at the Game Awards doesn't mean the game is good or bad. They have absolutely no bearing on anything.
It's kind of funny. Well, not funny. I mean, it's interesting, I guess. Because, like, no one really mentioned it last year, and maybe it wasn't a big deal last year, but this year it was just like people were just like, look, people were crunched, and now we're crunching their fucking award speeches. Like, this is meant to honor them, and I get it. I don't want to belittle the discussion, because I do think it was kind of fucked up. I think was it Baldur's Gate 3 developer? I think it was that guy who came out and was talking about, like, you know, a lot should happen in development and all this stuff, and they were playing him out. It's like, wow, and stuff like that. Like, a Noma showed up and then they played him off and told him to wrap it up. It's like, holy shit! Like, this is the Game Awards, and it's like, you know, okay, enough. We got to advertise sneaking the Burger King mission. Like, come on. Like, I wasn't going to talk about that because, you know, DSP really cares about the game developers, right?
In fact, the Game Awards are actually voted on majority by journalists, and we all know that games journalists are actually not in line with what most gamers want.
This is so dumb. I like it's dumb and funny. No matter the year, no matter who wins, someone will come up with like, oh, they're gonna pick this because of this reason. Like, I heard someone say, well, they're gonna pick Baldur's Gate 3 because, like, a lot of people are yelling about it and saying it's great and all this stuff, so of course they're gonna nominate that and not this other game. And then I heard other people, like, I heard all this stuff from all these kind of people, and it's just like, dude, like, it's just a fucking award. It just, like, you can disagree with that. I'm not saying you can't disagree with an award, obviously, but it's just like, man, I don't think of, like, this nefarious plot. Like, I think that they probably thought Alan Wake 2 looked pretty sick, and they wanted to give the art direction its props, but I think Zelda should have taken that, and that's it. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, they picked Alan Wake 2 because the fucking horror fans, they're crazy. They're gonna do some crazy shit if they don't win. Like, come on.
We actually have absolutely nothing to talk about today, so that is it for the podcast, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
Oh, wow, guys. Great joke. Great comedy bit. I'm laughing. We're laughing here. Goddamn, I need to find someone that's laughing.
Well, except that I say this every year and no one listens to me, and everyone still judges the Game Awards as if it has some true bearing on the goodness of games, and they actually will rank their games based on what the Game Awards said won or lost. So I end up having to talk about it every year regardless. I really wish that people would not...
Dude, you're supposed to be a gamer, correct? Wouldn't gamers kind of have at least an interest in what's there and discuss about it? Like, oh yeah, this game won, but I don't think it should have won or whatever. Like, this dude, man.
Give it as much weight or merit, because quite frankly, I feel like a lot of great games
Okay, and the other thing is, if that's the case, then why does he do a game countdown? If it's not official, right? Why should we care about his Game of the Year countdown? Oh, it's his opinion. Oh, but the Game Awards, it has, like, a whole attention, but it's like, so what? It's a fucking show, and it gives recognition to developers. Like, does he not understand that, like, it's important to people because they want to see their game developers get, like, the credit that they deserve and all this stuff? Like, that's why people are, like, upset about the fucking speeches being cut and all this stuff. Like, I will say this kind of made me surprised to see how so many people actually kind of cared about game developers, like, getting awards, because I'm just so used to just hearing people, like, dunk on them, because that kind of happened with Last of Us 2, and you know, whatever. But it's like, man, like, it's kind of nice to see at least people just want game developers to have their time in the spotlight. And then it was just like, okay, here's some ads, like, you know. So it is nice to see people like yearn for that, because I do think that at least game developers should get some kind of recognition, and that's what the Game Awards supposedly should have existed for. Come on.
And a lot of bad games get overhyped because the Game Awards are focused mostly on games journalism, which I completely disagree with. We've all been talking about how in the last 5+ years, there's been a big divide between common opinion of video games and what games journalists are saying about
I like how he brings this up, but a lot of people were mostly talking about the layoffs that were going on. Like, why is the Game Awards not even bringing up the layoffs? And at first I was like, well, yeah, why would Jeff do that? Like, hey guys, people got fired today. But I was thinking about it, and it's like, well, he had that little segment about Kojima being like, shaken by Konami or whatever the fuck it is. Guys, Konami, they treat Kojima like shit. And then all these people get laid off from their jobs, and he's like silent. Like, nothing, has no opinion on it. But Kojima, oh, okay, we gotta stop the show. Guys, shut up. Kojima didn't show up. Like, at first I thought it was like kind of like a meme about Kojima and Jeff, and it's I'm with the meme now. I get it. I see it. I see he's not being those allegations. I tell you what.
I mean, let's be honest. Most average gamers probably play more games than game journalists these days. So how could they have a valid opinion more qualified than ours, right? Anyway,
They get paid to play, dude.
we're not here to discuss that. We're here to discuss the elephant in the room. Because, ladies and gentlemen,
Boys and girls.
if you can believe it, the biggest surprise shocker ever just happened at the Game Awards 2023. Are you ready for this? This is what everyone wants me to talk about. This is the burning topic that must be addressed.
But this is stupid though, because I remember back when Sekiro was nominated, everyone was saying it was gonna lose. I forgot, what was the Sony game that came out that year? Was it God of War? I don't even remember the game that Sony had that year. It was some game, and they're like, yeah, that game is gonna win. I can't believe that game's gonna fucking win because the fucking stupid blah 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 blah, right? And then Sekiro won, and no one said anything. Everyone was quiet. Like, people were like, oh yeah, wow, Sekiro won. Like, no one said anything about it. And now it's like, wow, the unthinkable has happened. Baldur's Gate 3 won, but Sekiro was like a FromSoft game, and everyone like dogged on game journalists for like wanting there to be an easy mode. Yet it won Game of the Year. So figure that mystery out, Phil.
right now,
That's why I don't buy a lot of like the whole it's rigged kind of shit. Like, I could say that, okay, maybe some people are swayed to vote for other games or whatever, but I just can't buy it when like games like Sekiro wins and Baldur's Gate 3 won. Like, I don't think there's this nefarious agenda that they're pushing. I think it's just honestly either they want to pick a game they think is popular to win Game of the Year, or it's just an honest vote and it's like this is what happened. Like, I don't think it's this nefarious plot. Like, that's why I was losing my shit when he was getting so mad about Last of Us 2. It's like, dude, they just voted for this game to win. So what? Wow, Last of Us 2 won an award. Oh my god. Like, it's not gonna change anything, you know? Like, it was just stuff like that. It's like, I don't think there's this nefarious plot about these nominations or wins, you know? Like, That's how I feel about it. Maybe I'm a dumb, naive baby idiot, but whatever.
before we get to anything else, Game of the Year
At least I'm not DSP, right? Correct?
was not given to Starfield. And that is an absolute atrocity. We all know that Starfield was...
Hey, big Starfield. You know, I'm mad about this. I'm pissed. Now I'm pissed. This dude had a whole rant complaining about Zelda being nominated. He was like jumping up and down, stomping his hooves, snorting, so pissed that Zelda got nominated, and he's just not gonna bring that up. Not gonna bring up that he alluded to like game journalists were gonna collude to give it an award or anything. Not even gonna bring that attention. No, let's talk about Starfield.
definitively, without a doubt, without any kind of criticism or commentary possible, it was the indisputable best game of 2023, hands down. How could anyone possibly say something differently? And the fact that it didn't win Game of the Year just proves that it was complete sham. This is just a bunch of people who are trying to push agendas.
Man.
It's absolutely ridiculous, right? We all know there's an Xbox tax out there. No matter what, the game's exclusive to Xbox and not on PlayStation. It'll never win a Game Award, and that's just a bunch of baloney.
So, you know, I at least can, like, stand proud that my
Of course, I'm being
jokes
completely
aren't
facetious with that.
this bad. And I don't tell
That's
you, oh, I'm
complete
being
bullshit,
facetious.
right?
I'm being a jokester, man.
What's funny to me, all right, this year, is that, and I said this earlier this year, and I'll reiterate, and I'm basically going to address what people want me to address, but it's not intelligent people who want me to address
this. Is stupid.
Sadly.
I'm already...
Basically, this year,
this
was
is like
a year.
triggering my fucking despair that I had last night. It's like triggering it. Like I'm already just losing hope. I'm losing, man.
When there were so many games that when they came
Oh,
out,
man.
everyone was just so sure that they were going to be Game of the Year.
This dude was sure that Zelda was gonna win. Guess what didn't win?
This year, are you ready to go through the list of games? You know, first we started off with Resident Evil 4 Remake. Oh my god, this game is so good. I can't believe
Okay, we're just gonna skip ahead.
I can't believe this game wouldn't be
We're just gonna
this
keep
game of the
skipping.
year. And then Baldur's Gate 3 came out. Oh my god, it's the best RPG ever made. Fan service out the wazoo.
This is stupid. He's talking about people who like these games that played them, and they're like, "This game is gonna win Game of the Year." This is every fucking year, dude. Like, okay.
put attention to detail. There's no way it can't be Game of the Year. And it just kept continuing all year, right? And the funny part was, every time that this happened, I called it out. And I was like, you guys realize, just go back, you'll hear me saying, you guys realize not every major RPG and or release this year can be Game of the Year. But that's how everyone is
This
acting.
is so stupid. Not every game can be this. Like, okay, like this is such a dumb take. It's so stupid. He thinks it's like a big brain statement that not every game can win Game of the Year this year, dude. Like, yeah. What? Like, what is the statement?
There's all these different pocketed fan groups who are all acting like no matter what, their game is going to get Game of the Year. And at that point, when all this was happening, because I specifically remember there was a particular podcast where I addressed it, I said, you have to understand something. There's absolutely no way all these games can win Game of the Year. In fact, I would bet a lot of these wouldn't even get nominated. Now, in that regard, I guess I was wrong, because if you actually look at the games that got Game of the Year nominations, it's pretty much every game that had a major fan base, except for a couple, which we'll talk about in a second.
Oh my god. Okay.
So,
how long is this segment? I feel like it's gonna be super
when we got to that point, I basically
31
made a
minutes.
statement, and I was like, listen, you guys got to understand something. At that point, Baldur's Gate 3 was only on PC. There actually hadn't even been an announcement of when it was coming to console yet.
Why would that matter? It's a game, DSP. Like, this dude is so dumb. He's like, oh, because it's not on consoles, it's not mainstream, it's on PC. You could say that about every exclusive. No, not everyone could play Spider-Man. Not everyone could play Gears of War. Well, excuse me, there was no Gears of War game. Whoops. But you know what I mean. Like it's just fucking exclusives.
And everyone on PC loved it. But I said, you got to understand something. There's a couple factors here. Number one, if it's only a PC game, that's an isolated audience. If it's not mainstream available...
Same with any exclusive. So should we just write off Nintendo because it's their own niche audience?
There's going to be people who are not going to be able to play the game. That's going to be a hard sell for Game of the Year. You know, take a look at previous...
Why does that matter? Why does it matter? They're not the game developer. They're not selling They're not selling these awards. They're giving the awards.
Here's a game like Divinity 2, right? Which everyone absolutely praised and loved. But a lot of people never even talked about because it was PC only for the longest time until it finally got console.
No, because Divinity has only 2 installments. So it already kind of has a smaller fan base because I don't think anyone, like, talks that much about it in comparison to anything else. Meanwhile, Baldur's Gate 3, I feel that's a much more established IP because I've heard Baldur's Gate before. I played one tiny game on the GameCube or PS2, and then that was it. And then I got bored. And I never checked it out again. But you know how it is. You know how it be.
Right? I mean, that's a sure case of that from the past. Now, in addition to that, at that time, because we're talking around the summertime, there were still big releases on the horizon, like Starfield and Spider-Man 2 and a few others that people were eyeballing, and particularly, it was actually Starfield that we were eyeballing at that time. And we were like, well, if this game absolutely...
But you know what's funny about him bringing up Starfield, though, was that he was hyping this game up for months. And also saying it didn't look that good. He said, I don't know, man, this game doesn't look that good, man. And then he hyped it because he was going to play it.
To
Classic
all
Phil.
of the promises that are made about this game, okay? Absolutely, this game could be Game of the Year shoo-in, right? It's a make-or-break game for Bethesda. They've had a bunch of bad, disappointing outings right
Bethesda's
before this.
Whatever, okay.
I mean, take a look at they had
he's on a make-or-break fucking
Studios.
streak.
They had Fallout 76, which was an atrocity at launch, and to this day it has an online player base, but nowhere near what they were originally wanting for the game because it flopped at launch. Fallout 4 had a bunch of major criticisms.
He loved Fallout 4. Shut up. I know, I'm tired of hearing it.
And not putting out anything new. This was the big one that they were hinging everything on, and everyone was kind of, once we saw that presentation, do you remember? Was it around Summer Games Fest, I want to say? They showed
some let's just skip ahead. I don't give a fuck about Starfield.
I told you. I thought for me all year, I was thinking Tears of the Kingdom, Baldur's Gate 3, or Starfield. At that point, that was my thoughts. Those are going to be the big three that'll likely be contention for Game of the Year. But knowing how journalists lean towards Nintendo, because I never thought that Breath of the Wild would have won, and it did.
What's they lean to Nintendo, then... Okay, whatever.
Okay? And knowing how journalists go with height, and if Starfield was good, then he probably would have leaned right towards that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think they go with hype for sure and all this like meme shit.
But here's what happened.
What if it had an agenda?
Let's be honest. Starfield's not very good, right? Starfield is a huge disappointment. I mean, I talked about it in the credits of the playthrough. I gave you my review of it. It's just
what a great
incredibly
review.
underwhelming. Doesn't live up to any of the promises.
Actually,
it
needed more properties to point at.
Like
I know what that is. I know that.
They've made, and how when you make a copy of a copy of a copy, it starts to lose its focus.
Does anyone get this reference?
It looks
Do you get this
blurry
reference?
and
You guys
fuzzy
get
and
it?
shitty. And that's exactly what Starfield looks like. When you made the same game 10 times, the 10th iteration isn't as good as the first 3. Everyone wants to go back and play the 3 classics. I don't want to play the 10th clone. And that's exactly what Starfield feels like. It lost its unique identity along the way of being an awesome Bethesda RPG and just feels like, paint by numbers. And that's bad.
Paint by numbers.
So, because of that,
I think that's the saying.
That completely changed the landscape of what possibly would have been considered Game of the Year. Honestly, I was shocked when Alan Wake 2 got nominated for Game of the Year. Personally, I loved Alan Wake 2, and I was very happy to see it get all the recognition it did last night at the Game Awards. That was really nice to see that game that normally a game like that would have been overlooked.
I'm going to be a little whatever. I'm going to be a Greek about it. Don't know what that means, but they had the band from the game play at the show, so wouldn't it be weird, right, if the game wasn't nominated and then to play music from the game that's not nominated? Like, wouldn't that be kind of weird? But I mean, whatever. Maybe I'm being crazy about it.
Tons of recognition. I was like, wow, I'm shocked it got as much as it did. But then when it got nominated, I was like, could it possibly win? I don't think so. I didn't ever really felt like it could.
It just felt like it was just filling a slot.
I never thought was going to win. Honestly.
He said it was great and it took no risks and it was a fun game.
Jaw dislocate and jump out of my skin and land on the floor if that won, because journalists just aren't about the superhero games. They're just not.
What? No. They love that game. Shut up.
Essentially, Starfield
They love that game. There's no way whatever. Okay.
Yeah, I think that the top 2 games that it was between was Tears of the Kingdom and Baldur's Gate 3. And I said as much. But the funny part is, people out there who are morons like to take one moment in time and act like that moment in time is eternal. That
this dude does this about the escort. He keeps bringing it up. just to discredit the trolls, but it's like it's years apart. Like the people who even believed are not even around anymore, for the most part.
Changes. If you take my quote from many months ago that said,
and the thing that's bullshit about this, that's even more bullshit. He brings up the escort and he just throws at every detractor, even though not every detractor believed it. But since DSP himself said no one's gonna care about Baldur's Gate 3, and we bring that up, oh, that's stupid. My opinion changed over time, man. But he told us about the escort stuff about even people who didn't even believe it, and he said, well, they were wrong about that. Like, dude, come on. If you want us to give you that courtesy, give us the courtesy, dumbass.
He's not going to win Game of the Year because it's PC-centric, and right now with everything else going on, those other games, like I even said, Starfield is a shoo-in for Game of the Year if it's as good as people are saying it's good.
And people still... And it wasn't even the notion that, oh, he doesn't think it belongs to be Game of the Year or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But the reasons he had for it not to be Game of the Year made no sense. What logical sense was it to say, oh, Game of the Year is not going to be this game because it's on PC? Like, what kind of reasoning is that? That doesn't make any sense. It's like an Angry Joe moment, because didn't Angry Joe, like, get mad at Jeff for not having PC games, and he's just like, and Jeff said something that was like, well, he said something to him about it, and it kind of made Joe shut up. It was that kind of shit. And Dee's just kind of having that little moment, but Jeff's not there to, like, make him shut up, I guess.
And what happened? Well, Baldur's Gate 3 released for console. People absolutely loved it on console, and it got more mainstream attention than it had before.
And he said that no one would care on a console. It's PC-centric. Why would console players play it?
Or Starfield came out and flopped. No one likes it. Only a very hardcore fan base of Bethesda and Xbox players are all over it. Everyone else is like, wow, what a disappointment. Didn't even get nominated for Game of the Year. So basically exactly the qualifying situation that I considered to happen happened. And
like
now Baldur's Gate 3 is kind of, like I said, it was either between Baldur's Gate 3 or Zelda. I really was worried. Because you guys know me, I didn't love Zelda that much.
Yeah, it was a good game.
I thought that Zelda was a good game, but I didn't love it. And I disagreed with Breath of the Wild winning Game of the Year many years ago. And I was like, dude, if Zelda wins, this is going to be bullshit. Because there's so many better games this year.
I wish it won.
Thank God that didn't win. Right?
Like,
but that's
it's my Game of the Year
what I said would
personally,
happen.
I don't know. I haven't played a game that made me
But no one will say that. No one will look at my
differently.
opinions from like the last couple of weeks to months and take that as fact. They just want to go back 5-6 months before any of this information was available.
And see, this is why I went back to that other clip. He seemed very dismissive about it. He's like, well, how can they say it's a Game of the Year if the last third is bad? Okay. I get it, man. And all this stuff. It's a little like baby talk. Not baby talk, but like scaredy cat, like bad back talk. That's what I'm gonna call it, bad back talk. Because the dude just couldn't even come stand up for his opinion and say, yeah, I don't think it deserves Game of the Year. It's like, well, yeah, man, it deserves Game of the Year, I guess. But like, some people said it was stupid and dumb. But I don't know. It's like, come on, man. It's the same shit I see him talk about Guilty Gear, and it's like, man, does he think that Guilty Gear fans and Baldur's Gate fans are gonna like storm the pig pen and like fucking kill him or some shit? Like, my God, man.
I made a prediction back then and say that was my prediction. It's wrong. Yes, my outdated prediction before Starfield came out.
But again, notice how he was wrong about something. He says something that's like, oh yeah, I was wrong, and then all this stuff, and then he's like, why didn't you guys realize I said I was wrong? I know I was wrong, back then, blah blah blah. But when the trolls say, oh yeah, Phil, yeah, you didn't have an escort. Yeah, we were wrong about this one. Yeah, man. See, the trolls, they thought I had an escort like 5 years later. It's like, cool, right? So let me get this straight, Phil. You can bring up how we're wrong about the escort. That's not even the people who, like, oh my God, you can bring that up for years and years and years and years and years. And even though we all accept that it was wrong and it was bullshit and all this stuff, he can keep bringing that up. But we can't bring up how he was so wrong about Baldur's Gate 3 in like spectacular fashion. And it was months apart. Very fair. Very fair.
Baldur's Gate 3 hit console was wrong. You're right. Once more data was given, I changed my prediction. But why don't you talk about that? Because you're a bunch of fucking morons. And all
Why
wanna
don't
do-
you talk about how we didn't know that you didn't have an escort, and we thought you did, and then we got more data and realized you did not have an escort, so we knew that you did, so we knew we were wrong, and now why don't you talk about that, idiot, stupid? Are you stupid, Phil? Is that why? I think it's because he's stupid.
talk about Phil was wrong, nobody cares. You're a bunch of losers. Onward.
Yeah,
okay?
you're a loser,
So,
Phil. I agree.
here's the deal. Today we're going to talk about the Game Awards a lot. All right? What I'm going to do is briefly go through my schedule, but then we're going to talk about the Game Awards and
Boy.
recap. Because the Game Awards were 3.5 hours long, and that's too fucking long. That's longer than E3. That's longer than any press conference ever. The Game Awards are way too drawn out, and sadly, get super boring. The last
I wonder, right, if we just shrunk the Game Awards down to like 2 hours, right? Maybe it could be cheaper. Smaller amount of time, and they can focus more on the awards and less on ads and all this stuff. Why not do that?
The Game Awards, it's hard to stay awake. It's just not entertaining anymore. It gets really too just stupid. And quite frankly, if you want my overall opinion on the Game Awards, I'll just tell you right now, they were incredibly underwhelming. There were far too few interesting announcements. There were too many indie games no one's going to fucking care about by seeing a little snippet about it at the Game Awards. It was a complete waste of everyone's time.
I kind of
They should have
feel...
focused.
I honestly will say I feel bad for the indie games because there were some indie games that I kind of was interested in, but I can't remember the name of them. That's what I mean. The whole award is all melded into a mush. And then the FL trailer dropped, and I was just like, I was happy again. It was like, man, finally, something good, finally.
On big blockbuster announcements and games winning awards, and that was it. And then the show would have been 90 minutes. But instead, it was 3.5 hours, 2 hours of which were complete bloat, and it makes the show boring. It's basically, now it's the Oscars, and the Oscars suck too. So why emulate a show that everyone
the issue the Oscars have is way different than the issues that Game Awards had. The Oscars' problem is that they have a lot of unfunny hosts. Like, it says a lot when the Oscars that didn't have a host was the best Oscars. Like, just think about that for a moment. The 1 year they didn't have a host was the best Oscars they've done. The awards, whatever, but it was moving. They moved it along, and it's like, wow, this is actually way better. And then when they had hosts again, it's like, oh, okay, it was fun. Well, we had it.
He agrees is not good. I don't know what Jeff is thinking. Like, the show should be much better than it is. And there were a few really awesome announcements. Like, probably the thing that resonates in my head was OD, the new game from Hideo Kojima. It looks like it's some kind of a hybrid movie
okay,
game.
we're gonna have another little segment about OD. This fucking game. I like Death Stranding. I still stand by that. I enjoy the game. I get why no one likes it, so I'm not gonna like fucking fault anyone for disliking that game. But can we just go back to getting trailers again? Like it's all OD was people's faces. Like this, I did not care, and it's like, man, I don't know. I need to see more of it. I'm a little bit more weary of this game, and it made me madder at Konami we're not getting the Kojima and Guillermo del Toro collaboration, and we're getting Jordan Peele and Kojima. I like Jordan Peele, so I mean, no diss on that guy. I liked Moses movies, but I was more interested about the Del Toro stuff because I really love Del Toro movies.
Interesting, something unique that stands out to me as something awesome, right? So if they had like 5 big announcements like that, and then all the Game Awards, the show would have been great. But instead, they have insane amounts of.
It's kind of funny. He's focusing on the trailers and not
I didn't like
the
it
awards.
overall.
He's watching the Game Awards and he's talking about the trailers more. Like, this dude fell for the marketing scheme. Like, this is the guy literally falling for marketing schemes. Like, everyone I see on Twitter is like, dude, we watched an award show, we watched ads. Like, wow. And DSP's takeaway, where are the ads? Why can't we get good ads? This dude, man. I'm glad he's not in any position to like control meaningful games, because sadly Sony has fallen to the pig.
3.5 hours at night, and we're fast forwarding through shit. Like, I don't fucking care about the next bullshit generic shooter that looks exactly the same as 17 other shooters. Oh look, another fantasy RTS. Fast forward. It's like, fuck this. They're all the same shit. I don't need to even see half these announcements. They're non-announcements. Yet they probably all paid to be there, which is sad because no one's gonna fucking end up getting any kind of notoriety because they were on those Game Awards like that.
What if they did? I mean, Baldur's Gate showed up, I think, in some awards. I don't know.
Anyway,
whatever. Anyway,
so here's what we're gonna do.
I mean, No More Heroes 3 showed up at a Game Award, and that rocked.
Then I'm going to field questions about the Game Awards.
Okay.
The direct result of the Game Awards, and as the direct result of the generosity of viewers, because I received a donation on Monday on the daytime stream, starting right then at 12:40.
I like how we have to wait till Monday. The dude who gave him the game has to wait till Monday. Very cool.
5 p.m. Pacific time for the first time ever, right here, live on DSP Gaming, because you want it for all the months that you've asked for it and told me that I was wrong for skipping it. On Monday, we're starting Baldur's Gate 3. And let me tell you something. If this isn't the best RPG I've ever fucking played in my life, if it's overhyped, if it feels underwhelming, if it's a slow-paced piece of crap, I'm going to be pretty pissed off.
Man, you see, this joke is lame. Like, for me, because I know like a lot of people I talk to on Twitter, like, they love this game, and they're like, hey, you should play the game. And I'm like, I don't know, I'm not into that kind of genre. But I may check it out, and I would probably, my joke would have been like, if this game isn't that good, I don't know, you know, no. I would play it and then if I don't like it, let's say I don't like it, right? Let's say, oh, this game sucks. I'd say, well, I guess that's it for Baldur's Gate. The franchise is donezo. You know, I don't know if how are they gonna do 4? I think it's over, guys. But you know, I don't know. I would have just put a little bit more effort. You know, I'd either do that or I'd say, like, guys, if the game isn't that good, if it's not gonna be good, then we're gonna be booting up Last of Us 2. Okay, we all gotta suffer.
Because you guys keep telling me it's the best RPG ever, and I'm so wrong for skipping it. If this game isn't great, I'm going to call you out. So you better be ready. But don't worry, I'm going to be fair. I'm not going to unfairly judge this game. I'm not. I'm going to be fair, and I'm going to be calm.
And you know what this is going to be? It's going to be one of two things. It's either going to be him being very petty and just finding any reason to bitch about it, or it's going to be him being so scared to be honest about the game. And he's gonna be like, yeah, wow, the game is like, it's gonna be one of those things where he's gonna be like, feel like afraid, like someone's gonna break into the pig pen and do some shit. Like, it's gonna be that kind of thing. And because, are you already hyped for this playthrough? He starts like, don't worry, guys, I will be fair. Like, I thought we already assume you're fair and honest, Phil. You tell us every day.
I'm going to judge it for itself fairly as we play it. But my God, you guys have ridiculously overhyped this game.
I mean, why is it every game that the viewers want is always shrouded in some form of negativity? And I've said this every time, because if you go back and look at all of the times that something was nominated by a fan or whatever, he was always passive-aggressive towards it in some way or manner. And this is another passive-aggressive thing where it's just like, yeah, you guys have been telling me it's so good. I'll be fair, but just, you guys were just hounding me about this game. And this fucking guy tells us every day, well, no one was hounding about this game, so obviously no one cared. And then they do it, and he just gets annoyed by it. What do you want them to do? It's so obvious what he wants, and he just doesn't want to say it because he wants to be so validated by his audience. Because he can't just say, I don't want to play Baldur's Gate 3, I'm not into it, and leave it at that. It's always just like, he wants to say stuff so that you guys would lose interest and then move on. Like, it's like Tales of Arise. And SMT5, mostly Tales of Arise. And Octopath Traveler. He kept dangling that carrot, and it was like, then when people, like, forgot about it, he never talked about it. And he felt relieved. Because people were like hounding, are you gonna play Tales of Rise? And then he's like, no, not right now, but I will later. And then later came and never talked about it. Because if you look at bringing it up, they would be annoyed. Look at Dying Light 2. He said, if you guys want to see it, let me know. Dude asked him, are you gonna play? I'm not playing this game right now, idiot. Oh, I got banned. And he got pissed off. You see the pattern?
Every time that I've asked the question, how is this game the best RPG? No one can answer. Well, it's got a great story. So do other RPGs.
This is stupid. This is stupid. it has. So you guys say it's a good RPG. Why is it a good RPG? It has a good story. Well, this other game has a good story too. They didn't say it had the best in like forever. Like it's so petty because he says, "Well, this game is the best game of the year," or whatever the fuck. He says the same kind of like extreme shit too. And then when people say, "Well, what about this other game?" No, I'm saying about this year, man. But when people are saying this game is best, they're just talking about the game. Like, why is Baldur's Gate 3 good? Oh, the story's really good. Oh, but other games have a good story. Okay, but we're talking about Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, well, it's good combat. Other RPGs have great combat. Oh,
Like, look how stupid this is. I could tell someone, "Oh, Guilty Gear's great. It's a fun game that's good animation." Well, Street Fighter exists. Street Fighter is good. It's like, well, yeah. Street Fighter's good. Yeah, I didn't say it was bad. I just said Guilty Gear's good. I'm talking about Guilty Gear, dude. Like, this is like stupid. This is like what children do.
the atmosphere, yeah. Oh, well, the devs listen to the fans. Other devs have listened to fans.
This fucking idiot. This fucking dumbass baby man. Oh my god. The devs should listen to fans. He has so many rants saying how devs should listen to his fans. They tell him the devs listen to his fans. Yeah, other games do. Yeah, but every game you play, you say they don't. Oh man, I hate this guy.
Can you definitively explain to me?
Now we need a definitive explanation. Like, why? Why does this game need to have definitive explanations for you? It's just a good game. Like, my God, all the people I see that love this game is, yeah, this game is good. Okay, I get it. Cool. I'm not saying like, why are you guys saying it's good? There's other good games out there. Okay, I played good games. Why is this game good? Like, why? And then if I wanted to check it out, like, you know, I did a review of My Hero Academia, and I bring that up, and it's because I talk about it in that review, how it was so divisive what I've heard about it, and I didn't go in and say, well, so, why is the game good? Why is the show good? I see other good shows. It's just literally like I've seen. All right. I had to do some stuff, but like, why does this game need all this stuff? Like, yeah, I do check stuff out because I'm curious about, oh, how is it gonna be? You know, where am I gonna land on it? All this, it's just curiosity. That's all it is. Like, there is a part of me that is curious to check out Baldur's Gate 3 because I heard so many good things about it, but then I'm not gonna go and be like, why is it good? Huh? It's just like, yeah, okay, I heard it's good. I wonder if I'm gonna like it. Though the only reason I'm not like into it is because it just doesn't look like it's my kind of genre. That's the only thing. But it's like, part of me is like, well, I thought that about turn-based RPGs too, and now I love them. So maybe I like this too. It's that kind of shit. I'm like thinking in my head, and it's like, well, it's gonna go on sale eventually, so I might as well wait for that, and that's it. Like, I may play this game like in 2025, 2027, and I'll know if I like it or not. You know, it's that kind of shit. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I need to play it right now. You know, come on.
What exactly it is in this game that makes it stands out? The bear sex scene. That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
The dumbest thing I've ever heard. I will say I do kind of give Baldur's Gate 3 props for that. I think that's why people bring it up too, because it's a level of like of an option that you wouldn't expect in a game, because I think it makes sense why it's there. Like, because it's one of those things, like if it's in any other game, you'd be like, you know, oh this is a fetish game, ban it, you know, that kind of shit. But it's like, okay, this like there's a whole thing to it, something like that. At least from what I understand. I could be wrong, honestly.
You're telling me the game is good because it has a bear sex scene. What are you, 5 years old?
But I will say it is really funny that everything I did hear about the game is like super horny. Like, that's like, and I don't know why. I like, to me, I'm kind of surprised because it's like because when it first came out, the very beginning of Baldur's Gate 3 Mania, it was just, wow, the gameplay is good. Oh, the game's so much fun. I heard nothing but the gamer stuff. And then, like, as time went on, it got more and more horny. It was like a story was unfolding, like a narrative unfolding in front of my eyes. Because it was like a journey. I was thinking like someone else experienced it. It was just like, oh, the gameplay's good. Oh, fuck. I want to fuck it. Oh, shit. And it was like that kind of shit. I was like, oh, wow. So, you know, it's really funny. You know, I will say, I always thought that, like, there was horny in, like, Guilty Gear, Persona, SMT, you know, that kind of shit. Mostly Guilty Gear, I'll be honest. And then here we have fucking, Baldur's Gate 3 doing horny shit. And it's like, wow.
So that's what I mean. Like,
That's
when
what I mean.
everyone says it's the best, but no one can actually explain why. That makes
Yeah,
me...
you can struggle with understanding why when you're just not accepting the reasons. Like, this dude is such a bitch. He's such a fucking bitch, right? Like it's really like, Theo, why do you like Guilty Gear so much? Oh, well, I really like the characters. I like biking. Okay, yeah, but other games have characters in them. So, like, what else? Oh, the music. Oh, okay, this other game has good music too. Okay, yeah. So what? That doesn't really sound like you're open to listening. You know, you just sound like a petulant child that doesn't want to listen. And it's really funny. He says that the trolls don't want to listen. No one wants to listen to him. Blah 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 blah. He asks questions. People give him an answer, and he just writes them off. And it's like, that's not a good answer. Like, dude, come on. Like, you want to be taken seriously and act like an adult.
wonder about it. Okay? So we're going to find out. Now, by the way, I want to remind...
And I guarantee, if you do that shit to him, he's like, so nothing pleases you then? Okay? It's like, so you're asking me, right? Why I like Super Turbo? Okay, I tell you, good gameplay, footsies. And you're like, well, the other game has good gameplay. I'm not talking about other game, I'm talking about Street Fighter, dumbass. Like, you'd be so mad. But he's the one doing it. But it's okay when he does it, right? This dude, like, he's feeling so hard at beating the allegations that he's a child in a man's body. He even looks like he's wearing, like, the shirt he's wearing is a shirt you see a child wear. This dude is a massive child. Like, the man-child allegations only got worse for him. Like, people were saying that because he had gamer shirts on and all this stuff, but no, it's not the gamer shirts. It's just him. The way he acts and the fashion, like, it just complements how he acts.
You all of the reasons why I didn't play Baldur's Gate 3 this year. You ready? First of all, it was PC only. So I couldn't play it at launch because it was PC only. By the time it came out...
Was it on PS5, like, the next day? Like, whatever.
Out on PlayStation.
It was early access early in the year, and then the full release wasn't when the PS5 version came out. It was just early access what it was before. Whatever.
It's the other fall playthroughs that were popular, and I didn't really have time to play a lengthy RPG at that time. Also, because of the way this game has been described...
And you know, the thing is, he's had this shit happen to him multiple times. Like Hades, and he brings that up all the time.
Well, I was so sorry about Hades. Then you guys, like, really opened my world up about it, man.
That and, like, fucking Metroid Prime. No, well, whatever. Metroid Dread. How it saved Metroidvanias, right? Because he's playing them right now, right? And it's like, dude, like, you've been through this so many times that you never learn? Okay.
The way that people are telling me that it is, all right? Basically, here's the deal, all right? I feel like it's not a game that fits the format of my streams. If people are saying that a minimum playthrough of this game is 60 to 80 hours long, if not longer, how on the fuck do you think that fits into my streams? I'm a variety streamer.
I'm a variety
I don't play
streamer.
one game endlessly. Nor do I think that if I played Baldur's Gate 3 endlessly, that it would work. I think people would get bored. I would get bored. The whole point is to play a variety, and that way everything always feels fresh, right?
But wouldn't you be balancing the game out with other games? Wouldn't that make it variety? Like you say about all these other games? Like, he forced fucking Skyrim and Oblivion, and those are boring-ass fucking playthroughs, and those went on forever. And he played those. And he's like,
well, that's the thing about being a variety streamer. I played that in other games, man.
But, oh, man, Baldur's Gate 3, that can't be done, man. It's a million hours long.
Moving. That way, you don't feel like when you play a game 3 times a week, you've barely made a snail's pace of progress.
This dude is so obsessed with progress. And, you know, like, I kind of realized that's really when I started to not enjoy games, honestly. When I was playing a game and I was like, okay, I need to beat it. I need to beat it right now. I need this other game to come out. And it came to the point where it's like, yeah, if I want to play another game and I need space on my hard drive, I'm just going to delete whatever game I haven't been playing. Fuck it. Like, Alan Wake 2 is that game. Once, like, Persona 3 Reload comes out, let's say, and I'm going to put that game in, right? And it's like, oh, you need, like, this amount of hard drive space. And Alan Wake 2 is, like, the exact amount I need to delete. Guess what's getting deleted? Like, that's what happened with Resident Evil 4 Remake. I started separate ways, and it's like, it really wasn't, like, hooking me. And it's like, okay, I want to play this other game. Well, Resident Evil 4 is taking a lot of space. I'll delete it. Maybe I'll go back to it later, whatever. And then if I never do, I never do. Like, that's just how it is. That's how the cookie crumbles, man. Like, that's how it is to me. Sometimes, if there's a game I know I can beat, I'll just barrel through it and just focus on it. Like a Dragon Gaiden, I could definitely beat it. I'm gonna work my way through it. But it's like that kind of shit. Like, come on.
Want to feel like you had something significant happen, right? If I play RoboCop for 3 hours today, hopefully we get some story developments, we get some side missions, some fun stuff happens. Not, oh, I moved one bookcase, right, in 3 hours. Well, that could be.
But that's honestly all of playthroughs, though. Like, every playthrough is that. Like, I really don't know what he's talking about.
From what I'm being explained about the game, it is a slow-paced game with tons of narrative, which is great. Except people want progress. They don't want to sit here for hours on end and nothing happens, right?
Nothing happens, right? Correct?
Now again, I'm not trying to set the game up for failure. I'm a realist, all right? I'm telling you, I already figured from everything you guys have told me about this game, I don't think it would work for my streams. But I'm listening to your feedback. You want it. It won Game of the Year, all right? And basically it's been donated now. So every factor has lined up. I have no excuse to not.
It is so funny. Go back to an old schedule he posted on his Twitter. He says in that schedule, Baldur's Gate 3 is going to happen. He was very definitive about it. At the same time, he wasn't. It's so insane to me. Like, okay, you know what? We're going to be fucking... We're gonna be that guy. DSP Gaming. Yeah, we're not watching that video. I thought we were, but I was wrong, okay? It sometimes happens. The trolls, they were wrong. As usual. Okay, not this one. Okay, maybe I have to click it. Oh god. I swear he put it on his little stupid ass schedule. What the fuck? He's proven me wrong live on stream. This is bullshit. Oh, here we go. This was posted a day ago. Please note, it's been determined that I'm going to end up trying Baldur's Gate 3 by the... Please note, it's been determined I'm going to end up trying Baldur's Gate 3 by the end of the year. Keep your ears alert for more solid news on the subject. And this was, I'm off from streaming on Thursday, so this is before the day off. Let's see, did he say it in this one? No, but look at that. Definitive fucking statement. And he's like, oh, you guys determined it, man. Okay.
Play it. I'm going to play it.
All right.
In fact, I actually think at this point, there's been so much demand. There's been so much stuff that people have asked for. I'll give it a shot. All right. I'm a fair guy. When so many people yell at me about it, right? I'll do it. So we're starting Monday, and I'm gonna approach it with an open mind like any other game. Literally, I will not be a dick about it. I'm not gonna be, a negative asshole.
Like, why not just say, okay, I was donated the copy, we'll try it, and we'll see what happens. If I get bored, I'll drop it, whatever. Why not just say that? Why do we need all this, like, little baby words? Like, oh,
don't worry, guys. I'm going to be fair. I'm not going to be an asshole about it.
Because it's really like he somewhat knows that he's been very passive aggressive, and people are kind of picking up on it more and more, I guess. But it's like that doesn't make it better to say it that like this, you know? It just, because again, you can't just say I won't be a dick and be a dick, you know? Come on.
The game. I'm gonna approach it like an open RPG. I think people say character creation is pretty cool. We'll jump in. We'll see how the plots are. By the way, and here's the really cool part about it. I know nothing about this game. I've never played a Baldur's Gate game before, so I don't know the plot.
Wow.
Okay, at all. He
doesn't know anything, but he said like weeks ago how people say the last third of the game sucks and is bad, but now he knows nothing. And also, there's bears in it, and bear sex, and all this other shit. And the thing is, he's gonna start counting it down as much as he can.
Zero spoilers about it.
And by the way, why does he keep doing this when he's saying 0?
0! Ah! Double 0!
Man,
I don't understand. I never played one. I don't know. How could you spoil me? You know what I'm
How can you
saying?
spoil me?
So
What?
this is 100% cold
Whatever.
turkey for me to jump into this game.
cold turkey. Okay.
All right. So let's find out how it's
We've
going to
all
go.
talked about
Now,
how he's
yes,
just
I
using
will be
that.
very honest with you up front. If I play this game within 2 to 3 streams, everything is falling off. People aren't showing up. People are disengaging, not even talking about the game. They're just talking about other shit. They're saying it's boring in the chat.
Look at this.
Engagement's
Look at
dead.
this.
Support is dead. No one cares about the game. No, I'm not going to fucking play this game for 100 hours. No.
No.
Absolutely not.
He played Mario RPG, and no one cared. Like, he needed NDO to carry that game to the finish line. Like, he needed NDO to show up, and that's happening with all these other games. Like, Dragon Gaiden is getting carried by Lisa Liu, probably. And what's the other game he's playing? RoboCop. Is that getting carried by a whale? I don't know.
Thing is, if it's good, if I'm hooked on it and I really like it and you guys are liking it and we're all engaged, we're having a good time and it ends up being a great stream, I am happy to play this. But I want that atmosphere. I don't want, everyone wanted it, but it was a trick because it's a fucking game that everyone knows won't work for streams. Then I'm not playing it. Fuck off. You know, it's that simple.
So look how, so he's not saying it for failure, man, but he is by saying shit like this. Because he's saying like, oh, well, I don't want people to fall off. And then if he has one slow stream, he's gonna just roll these out. Oh, you guys said you wanted this game. You guys wanted this game. He's already blaming you for the game. That's what this is. He's blaming you and guilting you into forcing you to like this game or whatever the fuck. Like, why? That's being fair. You're just, it's like you're telling them, I will point a gun at you and I will make sure you were there. And it's like, holy shit, dude. Fuck, I'm not gonna show up. Like, holy shit.
Because I already feel like it won't work for my format. I've told you that already. I've predicted that. But maybe, you know what? I would like to be proven wrong. I would love to be proven wrong. Here's the thing, I love RPGs. Did you know?
He's been proven wrong in the past, and he still acts this way. He said Metroidvanias are saved, guys. When's the Hollow Knight playthrough? What happened to that? Remember when he's gonna play Hollow Knight? Oh, I could play all these other Metroidvanias, guys. Wow. What happened to that? Where are the Metroidvanias at? Oh, maybe he means only brand new, spanking new AAA Metroidvanias. Because those are so often, right?
I grew up playing RPGs. It's one of my favorite genres of game. The problem is
it your favorite? I don't know.
RPGs are very hard to retain attention. They just are. They're hard to retain an audience. Okay? And by the way, I already saw.
I'll be honest. When I stream, when I rarely do, I retain an audience. It's a small audience, like 5 people, but you know, I retain that same number. I look at the summary, it's like the same. And sometimes it's more. You know, I'll be fair. Sometimes I get like two more people, whatever. And it's like I retain that amount. Pretty cool, huh?
Are you ready for this? I already saw people in chat already setting the stage for failure. You ready?
Oh, they're setting the stage, not him. He's not the one doing it with the oh, you guys are, oh god, this is a great phase. This is like peak baby mode. Because he is setting the stage, man. Think about it.
Oh, well, if he plays the game now and it doesn't do well, you can't blame the game because it's 4 months later. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
It's an RPG.
RPG.
I can play whenever the fuck I want. I didn't play.
Oh. This dude has said so many times about other games. It's been months. Who's gonna care about this game? Oh, this game came out last year. Who's gonna care about it if I play it now? Oh, Tales of Arise. Why would I play it now? It's years old. Ah, he does that shit all the time. And then when people like say the same thing, he's like, "Oh, well, no, man."
Every Elder Scrolls game the day it came out. Oblivion, how many years late did I play that? What the fuck are you talking about? No, if it's such a good RPG, it should be good whenever I play it. No
Okay, so then why? Oh,
excuses that because it's 4 months later, oh, now people won't watch it.
look at this. 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 Now it doesn't matter if the game came out months ago, years ago. Oh, you could play it and it's a good game. It should be fine. This fucking guy has avoided so many games because it's X amount old. Oh, this game came out a long time ago. Who would care about it now? And now when people are saying the same shit, he's been ingrained in their heads. His own fans was ingrained this. He's saying that they're wrong. Unbelievable. It's like if I got mad that you guys are telling me that Guilty Gear is a good game. Okay, you guys are saying Guilty Gear is good? Guys, shut up. Like, no, it's a good game, man. You know what I mean?
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Stop trying to already make excuses for why the game will not work on my stream.
I will say that's not a good example,
It's
but
not
you know what I
going to,
was
and then you're
going
gonna look
for.
like an asshole. So no, I'm not taking those excuses. Those excuses are invalid. If
But
the
these are
game
your
is good, it's
excuses.
good forever. Let's see if it's good
So
starting. on
how come you it's so funny. He just said his own excuse. So you know what? I can't wait for the next time something like this happens where he tells us that, oh, this game is X amount old and no one's gonna care. Someone should say it's invalid. The game's good. Well, so like shut up. Stop making excuses. And see how fast he bans you. Like he might get a rant, you might get a rant for it, and he might ban you. Like just pay attention for that. That is so funny.
Day.
Do
It's
it.
that simple.
It's that simple. Bitch.
No more bullshit.
No more bullshit.
I've had enough of the bullshit. I really have.
I agree.
All
Phil.
right. So I'm excited.
Yes.
I really am excited to start this on Monday. And you know what? I will say this. I'm always someone who is willing to admit when I'm actually wrong. If yesterday I had said there's no chance in hell Baldur's Gate...
See this bullshit though? He never said he was wrong about this. About that statement when he was wrong in that VGA clip. He never said, "Oh, I was wrong. I didn't think," or anything. He never addressed it. He just yeah, man, yeah. People still care about this game. Cool. That's it. He never said he was wrong. But God forbid you hold him over the coals for something he said months ago. But those fucking trolls, they brought up the escort years ago. Let's talk about that. Right? Okay, sounds good to
going to
me.
win Game of the Year, and then it won, I would say I was completely wrong. No, I said that ages ago before all the qualifying things happened to make it look like it was going to win, and I was asked recently, would it win? I said, yeah, it's
And
either
the thing that's funny about the escort stuff is that we had no information about anything. We didn't know anything because he was hiding everything from us. He was lying to protect his family. So like, how would we know he wouldn't have an escort? Think about it.
Gate or Zelda, those are the two games that are going to win Game of the Year, one or the other, right? So, no, you don't get to say it. No gotcha moments on me. I see you said it wasn't going to win. Yeah, that was like 6-7 months ago. Shut up. You're an idiot. Okay? In this case...
He said Zelda was going to win, though. So, you know what? Actually, wrong. He's super wrong. You know, hold on. This deserves my favorite DSP clip. My favorite one. Where is it? Where the fuck is it?
Guess what? Wrong.
This dude literally said Zelda was gonna win. It didn't win. He was wrong. Did he acknowledge that? Did he mention Zelda? No. He didn't even talk about it. He talked about Starfield.
I would be willing to say, hey, if it works for my streams, if it's a great game,
I'm wrong. I'm wrong, guys. He did bring it up because he did say, "I'm surprised he didn't win because Breath of the Wild won." And all this stuff. I just remembered that.
I will be happy. Do you understand? I will actually be happy to be proven wrong.
But he didn't
I
say-
would be. I would
but
love to have
whatever.
a great game in my streams. Now, I want you to
The other point
understand
still
something.
stands, though.
We are opening a big can of worms with this, and here's why we're
About the
opening a
Discord
big can
stuff,
of worms.
I'm still right about that. You know what I mean?
In January, there's two big
Yeah.
RPGs. Persona 3 Remake. Guess what? Wrong.
No. It's coming out February 2nd. You want to know how I know that? Not because I'm a Persona 3 fanboy. It's my birthday. So, Atlas decided to do me a solid and give me my favorite game on my birthday. Yeah, can you say that? Obviously not, man. Sound good? And secondly, he's not gonna play it anyway. Remember, it's Persona 3. You hate that game. The dude who doesn't know the difference between a remake and a remaster, to the point where he's not gonna touch it because he thinks it's gonna be archaic because the final boss has ailments, is telling us that he's pretending he's gonna play it. You're not playing it though, dumbass. Why bring it up?
And Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, both of which are ginormous, both of which are high.
Oh my god, I keep thinking I'm like hearing the phone or some shit. You know what I mean? Bullshit.
I can't.
You
That's
can't.
the answer.
Let's go back.
Both of which are ginormous, both of which are highly anticipated, both of which everyone wants to see. How the fuck do I keep playing Baldur's Gate 3 with those games? I can't.
He can't.
That's the answer.
How can he play a game he's not gonna play? He doesn't want to play Persona 3. Oh my god.
Can't. There's no way that I can juggle 17 RPGs at once. You understand that, right? So
And
I
it's
don't
funny.
know what-
I think in the same pre-stream he later on said, "Well, I'm not gonna play it because of the Atlas risk," which is really funny because he hyped up the Metaphor game, and that's an Atlas game. So why is he playing that? It's Atlas, Phil.
to say about that. Again, this game is so lengthy with my variety schedule. This is also kind of setting myself up for disaster. I don't see how I could be playing that many games at once, right? It's absolutely ridiculous.
Man.
I don't know. I don't know what's
know.
going to happen. If we play it and it's great, right? And now all of a sudden, it's like now we have to make a decision. Well, crap, what games am I skipping? What games am I playing? And I think this is going to come more into play because on the Christmas Marathon, December 23rd, which is coming up, by the way, it's about 2 weeks from tomorrow, right? That's when we're going to go through the game schedule for 2024. We're going to look week by week what games are coming out, and we're going to determine which ones are interesting that you want to see me play. And once we figure this out, we're going to have to make tough decisions. This is going to be a tough one. I'm going to have to drink. I'm going to have to start drinking eggnog and whiskey to make these tough decisions about the schedule because I love these games.
Why would he drink alcohol? Like, what? Oh, man, this is a stupid thing to get hung up on because this is a joke. But he said, "Well, why would I drink beer or get drunk when I'm doing something important?" But isn't this good? Whatever.
It's going to be sad to say I just can't play them all because, I'm one man. What are we going to do?
But you're not
So
playing
it's gonna be a
Persona
rough
3.
one,
Why are you pretending?
We'll have to talk about this and figure this out together, all right?
Why is he pretending that he's gonna play Persona 3? Why? Why?
No, I actually loved Persona 3 until the final dungeon. The final dungeon is the only part of Persona 3 that's complete bullshit.
No. I hate his fucking take on the final boss because it's fucking stupid. It's brain dead stupid. Because he's complaining because the final boss gives you an ailment. Every JRPG has stuff to block from ailments. And he just had a bad setup. He didn't have anything to block charm. Like, he didn't think, oh, I guess that's Diaran. Let's give her a charm that has, like, a block charm, whatever the fuck. All this stuff, there's all these things you could do. And he's like, I don't know, man. I don't know what to do, man. It's bullshit.
The game is incredibly good.
I played it on fucking normal. A higher difficulty than how he played it. And I think I died, twice? And I still beat the game. I still beat it. I want to say maybe I didn't die at all. I don't remember because I just remember it was pretty easy. I think the only thing that was fucking me up was when he was reflecting some attacks or whatever the fuck,
Point. And then the ending is terrible. It's like, why the fuck did they make
The
it
ending
like
was
that? It's just
terrible?
annoying as shit. All right, so that's what we're doing.
No,
Starting Monday, it's Baldur's Gate 3
man.
premiering. You know what I'm saying?
That
we got
that
a holiday
triggered
event coming
me.
up.
Yeah, it's the
for the
best
Christmas
ending.
weekend. That's going to be fun and special, but that's it.
Oh,
Please
this guy
don't start
sucks.
asking
Fuck
for
this
other
guy.
random
Don't worry,
games
it's
out of
Persona
nowhere now.
4.
There's no
Fucking
time.
garbage
Baldur's Gate
taste.
3 is going to
Trash.
be incredibly time-consuming because of the kind of game it is. So that's what it's going to have to be.
God, disgusting.
So I'm willing to bite the bullet on this one. I'm giving it a shot because it's like
I
all
hope he hates this game.
circumstances
I
have
hope this
come
game
together,
sucks ass
right?
for him.
So the game is on every console. The game has been reviewed well everywhere. The game just won Game of the Year. You guys keep asking for it, and someone donated it. If I didn't play this game at this point, I would be a complete asshole, right? But that
It's funny, like DJ Runa donated him Untitled Goose Game, and he was like mad about it, right? Remember that?
doesn't mean that I'm going to
It was
love
a
it, nor
whole
am I
thing.
obligated
Like,
to love it.
honestly, the Goose Game thing, it was a whole thing. The dude bought him the game pretty much, gave him the money for it, and then he was like, "No, I want to use it on Bills, dude. Come on."
Keep playing it, so let's see how it goes starting on Monday. Okay?
Like, see how funny that is? It's so
Is that
funny.
fair enough?
It's aggravating how funny it is because DJ Runa spent the amount of money for the game. Like, this you gotta assume, okay, this is the money for the game, and he can just put in the money. But once it reaches PayPal, he's like, I don't want to take this out of my PayPal. Like, oh man.
I hope so.
I hope so.
that's fair. I hope you guys, I'm listening to you. Remember, old
And look
Phil.
at this.
the Sniffer-
Look at this. Look at this. He's gonna use his fans as a fucking shield again. He's doing this just so that if it doesn't do well, it's your fault. But remember, this is the guy that doesn't like pointing fingers and blaming people. But he's gonna blame you if you don't give him the support he wants. Pretty cool and chill, right?
What happened? Old Phil would have told you guys, I'm not playing this game.
Like,
Fuck this game.
It's wild. I would do that as a joke. Like, I play Persona 5 sometimes, and I'm like, oh, Retro's not here? Oh, wow. I'm doing this game for Retro. I did that to Dutch Gamer John, too, as a meme. Like, oh, I streamed Chrono Trigger, and I beat him. Where's Don? Where is he? He didn't show up. Wow. But I knew he was going to watch the VOD, or whatever, or at least I think he did. And then, or he would catch up, or whatever. Like, that's it. It's nothing more than that. Because it's like, I'm not expecting everyone to show up to my streams. But it would be nice, you know what I mean? Of course. But I just continue living.
You know what I mean?
You
But
know what I mean? I
it's
just
been.
keep on living.
I've been listening. I'm like, all right. If everyone, literally everything is pointing towards playing this
But
goddamn
this dude
game, then I'm gonna play
unironically
it.
blames his
Okay?
viewers. Like
So,
that. Unironically.
Let's see.
Which
Let's
is,
see how
like,
it goes
awful.
starting on Monday.
Imagine
so mark your
that.
calendars, set your clocks, get out your smartphones, put on your pop-ups, get your little fucking smart watches, program it into there, write it on your forehead backwards so when you look in the mirror it reflects.
Okay.
Seriously, as much as you guys
Seriously.
asked for this game, watching that stream. Tell your family to be on. Tell your
Okay, we're just gonna, like, skip that.
you work Mondays.
Okay.
Come down with the crippling.
Okay.
Oh my god!
Oh
now,
my
guys,
God.
again, don't take it so seriously.
Guys.
I'm a joker. You know I'm messing around with.
I'm a joker. I'm messing around. Yeah, because he's definitely not gonna like bellyache about the support if it's slow during the Divinity streams, right? He just said
you.
whatever.
Please tell me you know I'm messing around with you, because you know the idiots will quote this out of context, and there's nothing I can do about that. They'll do whatever they want, but I'm not gonna change my personality because of those idiots. I'm joking.
I'm
This is all a joke.
joking.
It's meant to be silly. I hope you understand.
What
but
part? See how like, because you could argue, oh, the part's like, oh, we're on your forehead and do this, blah, blah. That shit is like, no shit, it's a joke. But is he also including the this needs to have support? I can't play this game and have no one show up. Is that also part of the joke, or is it only part of the joke if it suits your narrative? Kind of deal, right? Like if he gets the support he's looking for, and the trolls bring that up, oh, that was a joke. I was joking, guys. Like he's so lucky his fucking fan base does not call his bluffs out on this. You know what I mean?
I really appreciate that you guys gave me the feedback you gave me this year. I do, because without your feedback, I wouldn't know what to do. And I'm
the
willing to give it a
suggestion
shot.
box segments literally beg to differ. Literally prove you wrong, dumbass.
I am. Now is the time. If we're gonna do it, now would be the time. We finally finished.
Now is the time? Now? He said a week ago it wasn't the time. It's not gonna work. He just said in the same video it's not the time. What fell? What the fuck fell? Oh shit. It didn't sound anything important. It just sounded like a fucking cord fell, but I don't know what fell. Well, it's not nothing important. I'm assuming nothing important fell, and we're all good.
All the major releases of the year, right? They're all wrapped up. Now it's the end of the year. We have some time between now and basically like maybe the second week of January to play stuff like this. So now's the perfect time to give it a shot. Now, the problem is if the game's so long, there's no way we're going to finish it, right? But at least we'll get a chunk into it. And then we can go back to it later. Whatever we want to do, we can make that judgment later. But I'm happy that you guys were understanding this year to understand I couldn't just drop everything that was going on for Baldur's Gate 3 because they decided to drop a console port of it in like the mid-September. It was like, what am I supposed to do?
He was
right?
playing
So
separate
I'm
ways.
happy.
Is that an
Thank
important
you
game?
for understanding, and now
Whatever.
we're going to give it a shot. What I'd like to do, because we're going to do shout-outs, but we got to remember, I do shout-outs at the end of the stream. I'd like to open up the stream, all right?
All right, let's
A
skip.
couple quick reminders.
We're gonna skip through
Thanks,
this.
but it's already being played. Now we need other games for the Christmas event. Thread.
Okay, Theo theory, right? He's saying now he wants other games. I think that now he's gonna try to drive them to nominate Fallout 3, and that's gonna cause drama. He wants another drama bomb on his hands. He's gonna do that shit.
That's available on the main channel page of this channel. If you are a channel member,
Like,
please post up your
you see that though? People were nominating it and all this. Like, this is really shitty. Actually, if you think about it, it's really shitty because people were nominating it and were like, "Oh yeah, man, we're gonna do it," and then like, "Oh no, now we gotta nominate something else." Nominate something else. It's so clear he wants Fallout 3. He's gonna try to force it because he's like, "Shit, Baldur's Gate 3 is gonna win. I can't have that. We need another opportunity." Like, yeah, you know.
I need more of those. Basically, it's going to go for like another week and a half, and then I'm going to do a poll to determine the winners that'll be played. Okay,
But that's a Theo
that's
theory.
number one. Number two, please keep nominating your favorite playthroughs of the year in the Best of 2023 thread. You could access that by typing ! Best of 2023. Okay? And then at the end of the year, I'm going to tally up the most nominated games, and that's going to be a part of my year-end series. All right? Last thing I'll say, please support the streams. As you can see, sadly, we
All right.
advance for any contribution. I am addressing directly people who are ridiculous or unfair or assholes. That's who I address with this nonsense.
Hey, what?
That disagree with you. I
Okay.
hit the tier 1 tips goal. If we can exceed that today, great. But thank you in advance for any contributions on the stream. All right. Amon did a super chat. Why do you shout, swear, and insult viewers that disagree with you? I don't.
Go watch his suggestion box.
I am addressing.
It's so funny. Think about it. That you could just say, go watch the suggestion box segments, and you'll find toxicity in it. The thing that's supposed to be, like, helping Phil is full of toxic moments.
Directly people who are ridiculous or unfair or assholes. That's who I address with this nonsense. So
You're not the
if
asshole,
you actually
they
take
are.
it that way, you should maybe look at yourself like, why are you thinking I'm talking to you? Were you acting like that? Were you acting unfairly and unreasonably? And
If he read what Amon said, and, like, if DSP had good reading comprehension, he said, why do you shout out viewers and insult them? Like, he said it, like, ambiguously, meaning he's talking about the people who you say that to. And he's like, I don't do it to you. Like, yeah, he didn't say you did it to him. He said you do it to other viewers. Like, come on. DSP, just use your brain. Just read. Learn to read. Cat, teach him to read.
And were you foaming at the mouth today to come to my stream to say, I can't wait to call out Phil on being
Who does
wrong with his
this?
Baldur's Gate 3 one game of the year? If you were, you are an asshole. You understand that? Because I didn't
You're
say
an
it was going to be
asshole.
game of the year the last several months. Excuse me. I didn't say it wasn't going to be game of the year the last several months. I said...
But remember when he said, oh, I'm not going to pay attention to the trolls and all this stuff, but what's this then? He's focusing on the trolls.
either that or Zelda. But if you're foaming at the mouth to prove me wrong, you're an asshole. Sorry, you are. Can't help you.
Sorry.
I got the drip.
Alright.
I got the
That is it for this video. Thank you for watching. This was a bumpy ride to get through, but we got there to the end. Thank you for watching. It was a fun video, and I hope to see you next time. Hopefully this video is good. You know, hopefully it's a solid video. I think it's solid. I'm gonna say it's solid as a rock. I'll see you guys in the next video, whenever that may be, and I hope to see you when I see ya. Bye-bye. Wait, we have one other voice to say bye, as always.
Time to skedaddle on out of here!
Bye-bye.